We have watched a lot of movies depicting a real-life event, or documentaries on big personalities, just like this popular movie Ford V Ferrari. So, do you want to explore what factual points the movie got right and wrong? From the contract Ford offered to Ferrari, and the legendary ending of three Fords crossing the finish line together. Did it happen in the real story? Let's test it out. The first thing that caught our attention was the contract between Ford Motor Company and Scuderia Ferrari. Did Enzo Ferrari bail out at the last minute of the contract? In the early 1960s, Henry Ford II's love for car racing led Ford Motor Company to consider acquiring Ferrari to rejuvenate its marketing strategies and enter the world of racing due to declining sales and intense competition from General Motors. However, there was a significant hurdle to overcome. Ford didn't have a sports racing car in its lineup. This led Henry Ford II to contemplate acquiring Ferrari in 1963 as the fastest way to make their mark in the racing scene. To secure a deal with Enzo Ferrari, Ford dispatched a team of negotiators to Modena, Italy, where Ferrari's headquarters were located. The negotiations were intricate, spanning several months as both parties sought a mutually beneficial agreement. However, the deal hit a roadblock when Enzo Ferrari rejected Ford's offer, citing concerns over the clause granting Ford control over the racing team. He was adamant about maintaining autonomy over his racing endeavors. The clause that stipulated Ford's control over the racing team clashed with Ferrari's unwavering commitment to the sport of racing, without any external interference. This clash of priorities ultimately led to the breakdown of negotiations, with Enzo Ferrari's singular focus on racing emerging as the defining factor in the failed deal. So, was the rejection of the contract true? Yes. Do you think it was Lee Iacocca who negotiated with Enzo Ferrari for the deal? If you're thinking it was Lee Iacocca, you're absolutely wrong. Let me give you an account of this major error in the film. The negotiations between Ford and Ferrari during the early 1960s were primarily overseen by Ford's general manager, Don Frey, along with other key executives like Leo Beebe and Roy Lunn. While Henry Ford II, the CEO of Ford at the time, played a significant role in the efforts to acquire Ferrari. Lee Iacocca, a prominent figure at Ford and later at Chrysler, was not directly involved in the negotiations with Enzo Ferrari. Contrary to what the film suggests, it was Don Frey who took charge of these responsibilities and established a strong rapport with Enzo Ferrari, also known as Teca Commendatore, an Italian knight. Frey earned the endearing nickname of Dottore Ingegnere, which means Doctor Engineer from the esteemed Italian manufacturer. Additionally, it was Don Frey, not Lee Iacocca, who personally delivered the news to Henry Ford II regarding the progress of the negotiations. So, was Lee Iacocca the person involved in the negotiation of the deal? No. As in the movie, we have seen the antagonistic behavior of Leo Beebe towards Ken Miles. How much truth is in there, let's see. Leo Beebe and Ken Miles's relationship in the movie is fictionalized, as there is no evidence of them meeting at the Mustang launch in 1964, or Shelby giving an inspiring speech while flying a plane with Ford executives. Additionally, Beebe did not ban Miles from racing at Le Mans in 1965. He actually raced as part of the Shelby American team alongside Bruce McLaren. Unfortunately, McLaren's car had to retire from the race due to gearbox issues on lap 45. The subplot of Ken staying back in California, listening to the radio as the Ford cars retired from the race, while his wife visits him at the shop, dances with him, and toasts with beer, was unnecessary but served to portray Beebe as the villain. So, was Leo Beebe really the enemy of Ken Miles? No. You must be curious about the two heroes of this fascinating movie. Did Shelby Carroll bet his entire business on Ken Miles? Carroll Shelby's decision to stake his entire business on Ken Miles, winning a race, is a fictionalized aspect of the movie. Although it adds excitement and tension to the film, it does not accurately represent historical events. In reality, Shelby was fully dedicated to the success of the GT40 program and invested significant resources and effort into making the car competitive. His company, Shelby American, played a vital role in the development and management of the GT40 racing team. However, there is no historical evidence of Shelby making a high-stakes bet on a single race outcome. Ken Miles, a crucial driver and engineer for Shelby American, played a pivotal role in transforming the GT40 into a winning car with his expertise and driving skills. While Shelby had great confidence in Miles, the portrayal of a dramatic and business-risking bet is simply a narrative tool used to enhance the story's drama. So, did Shelby Carroll bet his business on Ken Miles? No. Let's talk about the races. Did Ford V Ferrari show all the races? Which ones were omitted from the season in the movie? The main focus of Ford V Ferrari is on the key races and events that were crucial to the success of the Ford GT40 program against Ferrari. However, it is important to note that the movie does not show all of the races that Ford participated in during that period. For example, important races like the 12 Hours of Sebring in the 1965 season are not depicted in the film, even though they played a significant role in the development and testing of the GT40. While Sebring is briefly mentioned, the movie does not provide a detailed portrayal of the race. In reality, Ken Miles and Lloyd Ruby also won this race, which was another important victory leading up to Le Mans. Additionally, the film does not cover other notable races in the 1966 season, including the various events that took place before Le Mans, where the GT40 continued to be tested and improved. Did Ford v Ferrari depict all the races? No. I know, it's surprising how any legit race team would instruct the potential winner to slow down for the sake of the picture. But it really happened at the 24 Hours of Le Mans race. Ken Miles was given second place instead of first due to instructions from Ford and a technicality. Miles, unlike in the movie, wasn't as upset about it and slowed down to let all three cars finish together. It is believed that Bruce McLaren tried to overtake Miles at the last moment to secure the top spot. Even if Miles had been slightly ahead or tied with McLaren, obeying Ford's orders and slowing down ultimately cost him the win. This was because race officials ruled that McLaren and Chris Amon, who started further back, covered a greater distance in the same time. The mishandled photo finish denied Ken Miles the opportunity to win Sebring, Daytona, and Le Mans in the same year. Unlike in the movie, Carroll Shelby admitted to being involved in the decision to have the three Ford cars cross together, a decision he deeply regretted because of its impact on Ken Miles. So, is it true that all three Fords made it to the finish line? Yes. Do you want to know if the ending of Ken Miles' story was true according to the film? Well, here it is. Ken Miles' final ride went against his own advice of pushing a machine to its limit. This pursuit of speed ultimately led to a tragic end. In 1966, just 2 months after testing Ford's new car at Riverside International Raceway in Southern California, Miles met his untimely demise. Sadly, he never had the opportunity to race Ford's latest model at Le Mans 67, where speeds of 200 miles per hour were expected. During a fateful accident, Miles lost control of the car, which subsequently caught fire. Tragically, he was ejected from the vehicle and did not survive. His young son, Peter Miles, was present at the scene and vividly recalls the heart-wrenching incident. As he recounts in a 2019 interview, the last lap of the day was engulfed in a ball of fire, forever etching this devastating memory in his mind. So, did Ken Miles die in his last ride? Yes. What did we test? Ford v Ferrari is actually a close representation of the real story, with some creative liberties, like replacing characters, some made-up relationships, and of course the races. However, let's not forget the Fords made it to the finish line. That's all for this video examining the facts and fiction of Ford v Ferrari. What was the most enjoyable part for you? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more captivating content, exploring the difference between movies and reality.